This happened when I was a young girl, about a week before my 10th birthday. I grew up in a very safe and quiet neighborhood. It was the kind of place where nobody locked their doors until bedtime. One evening, my mom was cooking dinner and realized she was out of tomato sauce. She gave me $5 and asked me to run to the corner store just a few blocks away. I had done this many times before. It was late afternoon, but the sun was still out, and I felt grown up running an errand by myself. I bought the sauce and some candy, then started walking back home. Halfway there, I noticed a man walking on the sidewalk. I didn't recognize him, which was a little strange for our street, but he looked normal. He was clean-cut and wearing casual clothes. As I kept walking, he sped up and started walking right next to me. "Hi," he said. His voice was too happy. "My name is Dr. Evans. I'm a pediatrician. Do you know what a pediatrician is?" I held my grocery bag tighter and looked straight ahead. I was a shy kid, and my parents had taught me not to talk to strangers. I didn't answer him, hoping he would go away. He didn't. "Are your parents looking for a doctor for you?" he asked, walking fast to keep up with me. "You are almost a big girl now. You will be needing a different kind of doctor soon, won't you?" My stomach dropped. I didn't understand exactly what he meant, but his voice made my skin crawl. "That's okay," he continued, ignoring my silence. "They can bring you to me. What is your name? You have beautiful hair." I walked faster. "I was just on my way to get more lollipops for my office," he said, leaning closer to me. "Do you like lollipops? I have a lot of them." Thankfully, I could see my house. Without saying a word, I started to run. I sprinted up the driveway. Ran inside the kitchen and locked the door behind me. I was out of breath and scared, but I was safe. I gave my mom the sauce and didn't tell her about the man. I thought it was just a weird one-time thing. I was wrong. I didn't know it then, but that afternoon was the start of a long nightmare. It started small. A few days later, I was playing in the front yard. A blue car drove slowly past our house. The driver was him, Dr. Evans. He smiled a big, creepy smile and waved at me like we were best friends. I froze in fear. He drove away, but then he circled the block and did it again. I finally told my mom, "That man keeps driving by and waving at me." She looked out the window but didn't see him. "He is probably just a neighbor coming home from work," she said. Then the phone calls began. Back then we had a house phone, and I loved answering it. But one evening, my dad answered. He listened for a moment, looked confused, and then his face got angry. He hung up and called me into the living room. "Honey," he asked seriously, "I need the truth. Did you talk to that man you saw? The one who waved?" "No, Dad. I ran away." He frowned. "Then how does he know your name?" The man on the phone had called himself Dr. Evans. He asked for me by name. He told my father he was my new doctor and wanted to make an appointment. My parents stopped letting me or my sister answer the phone, but the calls didn't stop. He called many times a day. At first, my parents just hung up. Then they started telling him to stop. One night, my teenage brother answered the phone. He listened for a second, turned pale, and slammed the phone down. He looked at my parents and said, He said he's going to hurt her." Things got scary very fast. My parents called the police, but back in the 90s, the laws about stalking were different. Since Dr. Evans hadn't hurt me or broken into the house yet, the police said they couldn't do much except drive by the house sometimes. They told my dad to call if the man tried anything. My life changed. I wasn't allowed to walk to school. I wasn't allowed to play outside. My dad's friend was a police officer, and he started walking me to the bus stop. Dr. Evans knew everything. He knew my sister's name. He knew where my bedroom was. He would call and describe what clothes I was wearing. He told my parents terrible things he wanted to do to us. He always ended the call by saying, "There is nothing you can do about it." My family was under so much stress. My dad started sleeping in the kitchen with the lights off. He sat in a chair facing the back door with a loaded shotgun on the table. I remember waking up for water one night and seeing his shadow in the dark, waiting for the man to break in. This went on for months. The blue car drove by slowly. The phone rang all day. We were living in fear. And then suddenly, it stopped. The calls ended. The car disappeared. Weeks went by, then months. We started to relax. We thought maybe he moved away, got arrested, or died. Slowly, life went back to normal. I started playing outside again. My dad put the shotgun away. About a year and a half after I first met the man, my mom, my sister, and my two brothers were in the kitchen making lunch. The door to our detached garage was open. My brother looked out the window facing the garage and suddenly went stiff. "He's here," my brother whispered. My mom looked. Standing inside our garage, pressing himself against the wall to hide, was Dr. Evans. He had been watching us the whole time. My brothers didn't wait. They ran out the back door, screaming at him. Evans realized he had been seen and took off running. My brothers chased him down the street and into a large wooded park nearby. He disappeared into the thick trees. The police searched the park with dogs and helicopters, but they never found him. He had escaped again. We were terrified he would come back, but he didn't. But after 2 weeks, we found something horrible. Our family dog was found dead on our side porch. It was his final message to us. We never saw or heard from Dr. Evans again. Years later, when I was an adult, I asked my dad about it. He told me things I didn't know as a child. He said the police believed Evans wasn't just a stalker. They suspected he was a serial predator who moved from town to town. They never caught him. The name Dr. Evans was definitely a fake name. To this day, I don't know who he was or where he went. But for a long time, I had a nightmare where I woke up, looked over, and saw him standing by my bed, smiling that fake smile, holding a handful of lollipops.